Welcome to Daily Lenten Reflections with Father Stephan Alexander and the Parish of St. Martin de Porres, Coryal. For these reflections, we're using the Ascension Lenten Companion. We invite you to journey with us throughout this Lenten season.
Ships. He who loves his life loses it. John chapter 12, verse 25. Thursday of the fourth week of Lent. Today, we shift our attention to the 12th chapter of John, so we can begin to prepare for Sunday of the fifth week of Lent. Here, we see Jesus embracing his hour of glory and thereby embracing his passion, death, and resurrection. Jesus is resolved to do whatever it takes to accomplish his salvific mission. Jesus' resolve introduces a new question for us. Are you resolved? If Jesus is going to be the center of our lives, the first step is to acknowledge the darkness that is there. The second step is to make sure that we live in the light. Perhaps an epic legend can help us put things into context. Hernán Cortés was a Spanish conquistador born in 1485. After a humiliating defeat at the hands of the Aztecs, Cortés soon embarked upon a second expedition to the New World. In 1519, he landed on the coast of Veracruz in what is now Mexico, with 11 ships and 630 soldiers. Knowing firsthand the intensity of the battle that awaited him, he and his men dismounted the ships. He stood on the beach and looked his men in the eye and asked them if they were ready for the battle. They shouted yes. As a seasoned conquistador, Cortés was aware of the emotion that accompanies impending battle. He needed more than emotion, so he asked his men a second time if they were ready for the battle. Once again, they shouted yes. Fully aware of human patterns in the face of adversity, Cortés asked the men to take everything off the ships. His men liquidated the ships of gear, supplies, and horses. Legend has it that Cortés stood firm on the beach and again looked his men in the eye. With his men before him and the ships behind them, Cortés asked them a third time if they were ready for the battle. Once again, they shouted yes. Then Cortés said, "Burn the ships. We're never going home." Cortés knew that as long as the ships were in the bay, his men would have a way out when the battle intensified. The ships would remain a temptation to take his soldiers back to a land that was easier than the one they were fighting in. Knowing this possible distraction, Cortés made the decision to burn the ships and remove the distraction. Most of us have ships. We all have patterns, vices, or sins that provide an escape when the spiritual life gets difficult. It is one thing to confess our sins, but it is an entirely different thing to remove the temptation from our lives once and for all. If you want your life to be transformed on Easter Sunday, today is the day to burn the ships. If there is something or someone that leads you into temptation, today is a day to remove that ship from your life. Going deeper. Read John chapter 12, verses 20 to 33. Take note of verse 25. He who loves his life loses it. Jesus is talking about our holding on to the life and resisting growth. Make a list of people, items, or circumstances that lead you into temptation. Be honest. Be really honest.